Okay, so yesterday we have been into accounts payable configuration in a normal mode. That means basically all these points are related to the basics of accounts payable implementation. That means vendor account groups, number ranges, and I already informed you who we are as an FI consultant and who they are as an MM consultant. What's your role? What's their role? See, sometimes some tricky questions will be raised from your interviewer, like, how many vendor groups you have created. So what's your answer? Somewhere around 8 to 10. Is that the correct answer? No. Logically, it's not your duty. If MM is implemented, then they have to take care about all these. If it is a service client, yes, you must be aware of how to create vendor groups, then number range, then assignments, and so on. That means if your client is not in need of MM, maybe some third-party application is used for procurement process and all. So all you are just concerned about financial activity, then just to maintain the financial activity, that you are aware of how to pick up the charge of vendor creations and all. Okay, but this vendor creation, vendor master data, all the activity which belongs to vendor is the responsibility of MM guys. Remember that. Okay, or else you must be aware how to look after this role if it is a service client. I hope that's clear. So let's proceed for the first point, that is creation of vendor account groups. So it's a configuration activity. Let's go to the navigation, SPRO, IMG. You can get into financial accounting. It's a sub module of financial accounting. Open financial accounting. Then general ledger is finished, right? Now it's for accounts payable and accounts receivable. Now both are kept together. You open this, you will find some vendors. Can you see that? Vendor and customer. If you are working on AR, you have to go to customers. If you are working on accounts payable, please open vendor accounts. Okay. Now open this master data. In master data, preparation for creating vendor master data. Open this. Okay. Now you can see the first configuration point is here. That means if you're really looking forward to create vendor groups, you can use this navigation. Okay. Define account groups with screen layout. This screen layout is nothing but the rules which you are setting up here, which is a required field, just like field status. What's that field status? See, those field status groups is equipped with multiple rules, like you made business area as required entry, text as required entry, right? Value data as required entry. Here also, when you are working on vendor account groups, you are working on field status as well. That means if you are making address field as mandatory, at the time of master data creation, you are not supposed to escape from that required fields. Okay, so let me execute this. See, this is your first point. Then in the same lane, you can see create number ranges, then assign number ranges. That means the first 3 points are into the same navigation. Is there any confusion for this navigation? It's quite simple. SPRO IMG, financial accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, vendor accounts, master data, preparation, define account groups with screen layout. Go back in vendors. Okay, execute this. The moment I execute, I can see all information which was there in this demo server as a mock data. Or some people have worked on fresh creation of vendor account groups. See, all these dummy data what you are seeing is also a category of vendors. Like I told you, if it is a special vendor, if it is a one-time vendor, if it is a third-party agent, if it is a forwarding agent or ordering address, or is just an invoice presenter or goods supplier. See, these are nothing but different categories of which they have created for their requirement. Okay, we are not going to copy any one of these. We will create our own what we have discussed. So to create a fresh vendor group, just click on new entries. Now, can you see this? The first field is a 4 character. Is it a possibility to go beyond 4 characters? No. So what we have decided yesterday, we'll go with RTRM. What is this? Reliance Telecom, raw material supply. Okay, now the meaning. Meaning is nothing but the description of this 4-character code. You go ahead, you just write down raw material. Okay, I'll just make it short for RETL. Please mention in a description for which you have created this, or else it is not required if it is working for a client level. Okay, now this is my raw material vendor. That's the reason I have given a description. Instead of RTRM, if it was one-time vendor, okay, then you have to check this box. The impact of this box. See, this is also an interview question. What will be the impact of one-time vendor? Okay, so if you check this box, what happens, at the time of creation of invoice, it will ask you to, put down all address details. Then only you can proceed for, invoice posting. Otherwise, it won't allow. See, like you are standing at, any mall or retail outlet for the billing. What they'll ask you first, your mobile number, sir. What is the use of your mobile number for him or her? Because they are maintaining database. You are a one-time guy for them. Are you getting me? So if the moment you give your mobile number, you used to get offers on weekly basis. Weekend bonanza, weekend offer, 1+1 or 2+1. Offers used to pop up on your, mobile screen. Got it? So that's the impact of one-time vendor. Now, two fields. One is the 4-character code. Another one is the description. Now, this is what a field status, what I was talking about. This is nothing but a screen layout. Okay, screen layout, field status, both are same. Remember that. Now, another interview question here is, into how many segments vendor group is created or customer group is created? Tell them 3. General data, company code data, purchase data. This is what I was talking about. FK01, MK01 and XK01. Remember that. So what happens? You are concerned about one setting which is related to finance, and that financial activity as a reconciliation account is here. So give your 4-character code and a description, then double click on company code data. See, if you double click on general data, is this again and again coming up, logging in and logging out? Just few seconds. Let me check. Who is getting dropped every time?
I think Lizzo problem.
Lizzo, some network issue with you?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I have a slight network issue.
Okay. Here also it's heavy rain. That's the reason. Okay. No problem. You just go ahead with this. Anything is on record, right? Everything is getting recorded. Sometimes I'm unable to hear you also, or because it's just because of network. If there is any communication gap, we'll try to cover up into tomorrow's discussion. No problem. Okay. But let me know if you are facing any technical difficulty. Fine. I'll go back there. So 4-character code and a description. What's there in general data? The moment I double click on general data, it's related to address communication. Double click on address. See now, what's the difference between this field status and that field status, what we have seen already in GL? Yes, anybody can find out what's the difference? One option has been given extra, that is display. Earlier you got optional, required and suppressed, right, at the time of business area and text field. So if you really want to make all these fields as required entry, go ahead. Okay, but what I told you, that this general data, that is nothing but address, pin code, phone number, this is not your activity. Let procurement guys will take care of it. Okay, so this was all about general data. What you can do here is just after giving 4-character code and a description, double click on company code data. Okay, double click on account management, make reconciliation account as required entry. Okay, that means whenever you are creating a vendor, okay, vendor master record, you are making this field as required field. Why? Because user who is responsible to create vendor master record must assign sundry creditor account to vendor account. Then only whatever you post into vendor account, Via vendor it will update to sundry creditor. And what sundry creditor? That's your reconciliation. And what we are doing it? We are making it required field. Can you see that? We are making it required field. Is it clear now? Now, right after this, click on save. Now what? Can you save that into global structure? What I'm doing is, I'm creating a new request. Okay. Click on create request. This is accounts payable configuration for REGL. Rest all points which is related to accounts payable I'm going to store in this request. Press enter. See, I'm about to store this in my request. Just press enter. That's it. Okay. So this is how I have created one vendor group. You go ahead for service. You go for government vendors. You go for import. You go for clearing agents. The different categories what we have just seen in mock data as well. Okay. Any questions here? Is that the first point is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, you are not concerned as an FI consultant to get into purchasing data. Why? Because this is also a procurement activity. The moment I double click on purchasing data, see what happens. I'll double click on purchasing data. All those content which is related to procurement is here, like terms of payment, minimum order value, ABC indicator, right? Mode of transport. Is this our stuff? Is this affecting your debit and credit? No. So don't touch that purchasing data. So I hope you got your answer for the question, like into how many segments your vendor group is created, or into how many segments your vendor group is divided. Yes, there are three. Okay, general data, company code data, purchasing data. What you are concerned is a company code data, where in account management you have made reconciliation account as a required entry. Got it? So this is how, if you really want to create a vendor group, use the same way to create the different categories what we have discussed in our explanation or introduction. Okay, now go back. Make sure whatever you have created must be on save mode. Just go back. Go back. So I have created only one group. That's how I can save my time and your time also. If you really want to work out, please use other categories in the same way. Now next step is create number ranges for vendor accounts. So in the same navigation, you can check that here. Execute. Now the moment I execute, the number range screen what you are seeing here is the transaction code XKN1. Please make a note when you are preparing a document for the second step. What is missing here? What is missing?
Company code.
Company code.
Company code. Why? It's a group, and group is created at client level. Got it? Document. Yesterday I told you that the difference between the two number ranges, client level number range and company code level. I hope that got clear. So now, if this is not there, just directly click on change intervals button. Now, all people, see, who have created groups, see, that's the reason we are seeing others data here. Can you see that? Now it's very hard to find out the next three number here for our vendor account, our vendor group. Now see, we are getting one message out as well. What's this? Number range is locked for editing by user 307. Now what to do? I have already given you a solution earlier. What to do if screen is locked?
SM12 something code, sir. We need to create traffic.
SM12. Yes, SM12, of course. First find out the person who is on that screen. Maybe he is still working on it. Maybe he left that screen blank. Maybe he left that screen unattended. So find out who is that user first. User 307. Let's go to transaction code on other session /o SM12. Why? Because I don't want to disturb this. See, if I want, I can quickly switch with help of some shortcuts. But I'm training you guys. So if I start using some shortcuts, maybe you people are experiment on those stuff. I don't want that now in this condition. Okay, first complete the training, then use some shortcuts. Okay, while you are learning, car driving, you can't be a stuntman. Okay, I hope you understood. So even now I can perform my stunts here. Why? Because I'm a trained guy. If I show you some stunts and you work out, I know the result. Okay, so first what to do, how to initiate to solve this message. See, now I'm unable to add any number range here. Why? Because this user has blocked this road. Now how to clear this? Find out who blocked this. User 307. Open another session with /o SM12. Press enter. Now you have to give the user here. As soon as that screen appears for SM12, see, I'm in SM12 now. Now call your user who blocked this. User 307. Click on list. The system will give you the list of screens which he is working and he blocked it. Okay. So while working on 13th, okay, he blocked it. Blocking mode is an error. Okay. What you can do, go to log entries and simply delete all. So this is how you can clear the traffic. Say yes. Say yes. Close all that. Close it. See, it's gone now. You close that screen. It's closed. Now come back to your screen where you have seen its log. Okay. Just go back. Okay. And click on change intervals again. See, now you have fields and buttons open to edit. Now here the twist is finding out next free number from these numbers which are already occupied by other users. Now remember the initial discussion about the number range which was informed by me earlier, that never start with a 9, never ever give all 9s here. Suppose if you are giving all 9s here, you don't have a choice to create next free number. Why? Because you are already occupied the entire area. Now there is no free space. How you are going to create? Is it clear? And on the other hand, don't forget that you are working on a demo application now. You are working on dummy application. This is a training server. Okay, not a production server. Okay. If it was a production server, the number ranges will be created or defined by the consultants based on requirement. But this server has been given to 40 to 50 users to work out. So everybody has created their number range according to their requirement. Now the question is, now the pain is finding out the next free number. So I'm giving an opportunity if anybody who can come up on mic and say the next free number. See, always what's the best idea to pick up the next free number? Target the two number column. This is your column which will support you to find out the next free number. Like an example, 4,03,000 to 4,03,099 have been occupied. 2,000 to 299 occupied. Now, hopefully, the next 4,04,000 is free. Correct? If we check this, but it doesn't mean that we have only these sum of numbers. Please make sure by coming down that there is no 4,04,000 have been occupied by other users. Can you see that? Are you checking it? The other option, if it is not 4,000, the other option is 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Okay, 900 is also taken. So what is the possibility for next free number? Don't forget, you have to mention these two characters also. These two characters, first you have to find out the two character, what you are thinking to create. It should not be there. The next parameter to create number range is to find out the next free number. Yes. And sometimes may happen then you can pick up these number ranges which was not yet used by anybody. See, no number ranges, no vendors have been created for these three. So what we can do, simply we can pick up N4 and we can assign to our vendor group. So that who will be my first vendor? 4,05,101. And how many vendors I can create here? 100 vendors. Yes, any questions here?
No, sir.
Yes, anybody? Now, how to find out the next free number is quite clear for you guys, right? Now, what we can check, I'll just go down to check further extensions if somebody has taken or not. Okay. Now 4,100,000, 4,900,000 has been taken. So hopefully 4,01,000 is free. So what I'll do, see, RM is already taken here. Can you see that? RM is already taken. So how can I proceed? How can I proceed? I have to click on insert. See, we just go on top. Click on insert. Why? Because you are creating your own range which was different from this area. So what I can do here, I will go for RK. What's my indicator? RK. Now what's the free number? 4,01,000 is here. 4,01,099 is also here. 4,04,000 is free, right? So let's check 4,04,000 to 4,05,000. That means what's the possibility to maintain vendors in raw material category? Yes. How many vendors I can create if I use this range? 1,000, right? 1,000.
Yes. 1,000.
Yes. Now, if it was with reference to yesterday's blueprint, what we have checked, how many was that?
10 million.
10,000.
10 lakhs.
Yes. 10 lakh.
1 million.
Or that's for invoice. That's for invoice. But as far as this data is concerned, yes, 1 lakh in each category that they have maintained.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for me, I have created one group for 1,000. We just click on save. So what's my indicator? RK. Save it. System gives message, press enter. See, if you have gone through with my earlier reports, earlier discussions, well, I told you that there is no request generated for number ranges. Why? Because it is always advised to create fresh number range in all three servers, whether it is a development server or production or quality. Please maintain fresh number ranges instead of transporting them from server to server. It's not a good idea to shift number range from these dummy servers, so-called development or sandbox, to the quality. Then after quality, the remaining balances you are going to shift to the production. Now, always create fresh number range in production, then try to inform your user to use that. Okay, so that's the reason there is no request generated for this. There are two things which will not forward to the server to server. What's that? One is master data, another one is number range. Okay, so all in all, when you click on save, you will get a message. You just press enter. That's it. So go down. Here is the number range what you have created. Is there any one vendor which is created by us? No, we have not created any vendor yet. As soon as I create my first vendor, what will be the number range status? Yes, what will be the status shown here?
1.
4,01,000.
Sorry.
4,04,001.
No, 4,04,000.
4,04,000.
One.
Yes, 4,04,000. No, 4,04,000. Why? Because this is my first one. Okay, then 4,04,001, 4,04,002, like that. And those numbers what you are seeing here are which was picked up by the system at the time of saving a master data. Okay, that will be taken from this range. Okay, again a story of internal and external remain the same what we have discussed earlier. Okay, now this RK we have to assign to our group. What's our group? Go back. What's next? Assign number ranges to vendor account groups. Execute. Now click on position. What's my group?
RTRM.
RTR.
RTRM.
Yeah.
If you are working other than RTRM, please go for RTSV and repeat the same what you are doing. Okay, RTRM, press enter. So see, my group is on top. Now what's that indicator which you have to assign here?
RK.
RK, yes. That indicator must be assigned here. Okay, click on save. Save in your request. See what you are getting these messages. Huh? Why? Because is it my group? No. See, this is some other group and we are getting an error. Why? Because this guy, what he did, he has created vendor group, but he has assigned an indicator which is not created in SKN1. Are you getting me? See, instead of RKA, if I give 01, I must make sure that this 01 is created in number ranges, right? This indicator is not there. So what you can do to bypass this ticket is simply remove this 01. Okay, press enter. See, again 01. Remove this 01. We don't know whose group is this. This is what happens if you get trained by half-mind guys, half knowledge guys. Or else, they are the biggest fan of Google and YouTube. They'll check the YouTube and then they'll try to implement the system. No, how is it possible? Okay, so make sure that if you are getting these kind of messages, right, you just try to make this field as blank field. Okay, press enter. Now see, the moment I have pressed enter after removing that 01 indicator, I'm able to save my data into my request. Just press enter. Is it clear now? It's quite simple. Huh?
Yes,
Those groups are not my groups. I have simply removed those indicators which was not present in 01. Clear now? So total 3 points have been implemented successfully. One, we know now how to create vendor account groups. Then we know how to create number ranges by picking up 2 character indicator. Then how to check the next free number, right? Then assigning this, right? So these 3 points are quite clear. Now I'll just go back. The next point is define tolerance group for customer/vendors. So close this. That tolerance belongs to business transaction. Please mute back. Business transaction. Please mute yourself. Rajesh, please mute yourself. Okay, thanks. Now, financial accounting, accounts receivable and payable, business transaction, open item clearing, open this. Clearing differences. Here it is, clearing differences. Then define tolerance for customers/vendors. Very important. And if you are forgetting this, missing of this configuration may stop you to clear the payment. Okay, you will not be able to post the document which is related for the payments. Remember that. So this is one of the mandatory configuration to be configured without fail. So execute this. Okay, now click on new entries. A lot of other tolerances have been created according to their requirement. Let it be. We'll go for our tolerance group for our company code. Click on new entries. See, this is what that screen about what we have discussed, like permitted payment differences, permitted differences for automatic write-off. You discuss with them, then put down if any figures, like they are ready to, settle down the payments or settle down gain or loss with 1,000 rupees or 100 rupees, not more than 500. See, 1 lakh invoice. If he is paying up 99,900, then what you are permitting is, if it is an 100 rupees short, you can, save that document. You are allowing him to save that or clear that invoice. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, I'm not giving up any differences here. Why? Because this is not my responsibility. You discuss until unless it is discussed with MM and SD fellows. Okay. Now what we are doing right now is you just go for company code for which you are creating RET. This tolerance, that is RETL. Then this box, this box is the box what we have discussed for levels. Did you remember that? Tolerance group for GL, tolerance group for employees. We have discussed that level 1, $1,000, level 2, $10,000, level 3, $50,000, right? So this box is used for whatever you write in this box. You have to assign this to your user without fail. Otherwise, leave it blank and just give the description here. That description is nothing but tolerance group for RETL. That's it. If you give this information, that means system identifies, okay, tolerance group has been created and no restrictions have been provided. Okay, so give company code, give the description, click on save, save in your request. Okay, it's done. Now let me go back.
So what about the other fields, sir? In the tolerance?
Which fields you are talking about?
Yeah, these are the
Which fields?
I mean
See,
specification
as,
of play.
as I told you that every field is not related to us until unless it is required. See, if you are making those rules like fixed payment terms, sometimes you have to switch payment terms also. See, you have given 15 days credit limit one time. Is it permanent to follow that 15 days credit limit for your vendor? Are you not going to communicate with your vendor to enhance that 15 days to 30 days after 4 years relationship? Right? That's the reason I'm not touching up all these fields until unless these are, specially required from the client side. Okay, and this is to be discussed by that team I already informed you. Okay, how can I decide that what will be the payment terms? It's a procurement team, it's a sales team who are going to decide this, right? See, these are those specification posting which are related to the residual item for payment differences. Residual item in the sense sometimes may happen adjustments. Okay, the last invoice which was generated, in that invoice 10,000 amount was not yet settled down. So will it be please possible to adjust that 10,000 with this invoice? Are you getting me? That's the reason. That's the reason. Maybe that 10,000 commodity is not yet supplied by that vendor, and my 10,000 is lying in his account as an advance. Are you getting me? See, if you target each and every field, that you are not going to come up till next year. I hope it's understood. So right now, you just go ahead with what have been discussed with you. If you are targeting every field, then better go ahead with 30,000 papers for FI module and again 20,000 papers for controlling module. And that is again a theory, not an extraction of practicals. I hope you are getting it.
Got it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Got it? This is what, see here. Gain, this fellow is ready for 510. Loss is not ready to spend more than $2.56. Right? So please, what have been discussed, you please discuss with the team, let them come forward, whatever they say, you go ahead. See, grace days due for due date. It doesn't mean that 15th day is the last day for you. Right? On 16th day, you're talking to him, you're communicating, you're trying to communicate with your customer or vendor. And then, what's the maximum grace period you have got? 1 day.
1 day.
Okay. Arrears based date. Now, cash discount terms displayed. If you check this also, there will be there. If you don't want to display, yes it is. So, all these fields are optional. Okay. You just complete this, as and when required, you can grow up with your team based on requirement again. If you are trying to target every field, nobody in the entire globe will take you for field by field concept. Okay, see, some other time I'll show you how SAP will train people. Okay, they are charging somewhere around $3,500 honestly speaking, but not all those points covered which we are covering up here one-on-one. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you.
let me proceed in the same way. Just go back. Expectation is okay, but see, everything is not possible. Remember this. Somewhere, some corner, you have to stop yourself. Right. So, this tolerance group for employees is already there. As I told you, if you have assigned some, levels here, go and assign to your user without fail. This is just same as defined tolerance group for employees. Is it clear? This point, what we have already discussed in GL. Okay. Any confusion about this?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. The next point is to create reconciliation account. How we are going to create reconciliation account? Go to transaction code FS00. Why? Because it's just a ledger creation. FS00. Now look at the next free number in current liability. Sundry creditor belongs to current liability, right? So what's the next free number where I can create my sundry creditor? 100501. Just click on create. 100501. RETL. Press enter. Now your account group current liabilities and provision. It belongs to balance sheet. Now here I'm just creating a general sundry creditor. I told you more than one reconciliation account yesterday. Okay, I hope it was very much clear. Sundry creditors account. See, if you have to maintain in that way what we have discussed, you simply maintain some quotes like this. Is it clear? Now maintain in this way. If you want, you can go for SV. If you want, you can go for OV, one-time vendor. If it is GV, government vendor. If it is export, yes, EV. Okay, if it is a clearing agent, then you can go for CV. Any confusion here about yesterday's point, like, whether it is possible to go for multiple reconciliation? If yes, then why? We have enough discussed, I feel, yesterday. Is there any confusion still? It's quite simple.
No,
you
sir.
just repeat this text if you want different reconciliation accounts to be created here. Okay. Now click on Control Data tab. Now don't go for balance in local currency. Don't go for open item. What's this? It's a reconciliation account type. Basically, there are 4 reconciliation account types which are given by SAP. One is assets, customers, vendors, and contract accounts. There is another module. The module which we are working now is FICO. Another module is also there, that is CA, FICA, contract account receivable. So this is a field which is used for that module. Huh? Remember this. Now, sundry creditor belongs to which reconciliation? Customer or vendor? Vendor.
Vendor.
Select reconciliation account tab as vendor. And remember this point. This is the first time and the last time which we are discussing this. The moment you select reconciliation account type field, please don't select only balance in local currency and open item management. Why? There is also an interview question, is it possible to select open item for reconciliation account? Is it possible to select only balance in local currency for reconciliation account type?
Maybe vendors are from different countries, like globe. So
Exactly. That's what I
we
told
cannot
you
select
yesterday.
it.
100% correct answer. Yes, any other guys who are having confusion? That means the reason I'm not selecting this open item management is because we are collecting payment from a vendor, not from sundry creditor. And why I haven't gone for only balance in local currency? Because the vendors are from different countries. Maybe from China, maybe from Japan, maybe from US, maybe from UK. Okay, maybe from Taiwan, maybe from Japan. Different currencies, right? Australian dollar, Singapore dollar, Malaysian ringgit, Russian rubles, right? All those currencies. So when I'm making a reconciliation account, especially when you are touching this field, make sure that no only balance in local currency, no open item management. Okay. The next field is, of course, line item display. Will give you the details of line item. Okay. Then sort key. Now here the sort key, how you are going to sort out data in sundry creditor based on vendor number. Go for F4. Okay. Now here I'm changing a sort key 012. Earlier in GL we have used 002. Did you remember that?
Yes.
That means with the help of document number we can sort out those vouchers which is related to general ledger. But now this activity is related to vendor, right? The moment I double click on sundry creditor, I would like to search vendors based on their identity. Now who will be my first vendor based on the number ranges what I have created for RK? 4,04,000, right?
Yes.
Then 4,04,001, 4,002 and so on. This is how I am going to sort out 012. Okay, this is done. Now click on create bank interest tab. Now the field status is different for reconciliation account which was given by SAP standard. Did you remember that? I hope everybody now who is on call have gone through with field status group. How many field status group we have copied from standard 3001 in field status variant? Is there anybody here?
Yes.
41 entries or 43 entries got copied, right? G001, G005, Okay.
Yeah,
How many
41
entries you have copied? One field status. See, click on F4. You can see all of them here. Can you check that? Almost 41. All are here. Now I'm not going to select G001 and G005 because it is a reconciliation account, and for reconciliation account G067 is the standard field status group which was given by SAP. Can you see that? It's a reconciliation accounts. Don't go for G068. This is for Austria. Okay, country specific one. Go for G067. Got it? G067. Click on save. Done. My reconciliation account is ready. Any confusion? I hope it's quite clear. There are two new fields what we have seen today in general ledger creation. One is your reconciliation account type and another is the field status group which I have selected for reconciliation account. Make sure to highlight these 2 points at the time of preparing document for yourself. Any confusion? I hope you guys are ready to create multiple reconciliation accounts.
Yes.
Joe, you are here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine then, not a problem. Please mute back. Now let me go for the next point is creation of vendor master data. And to how many levels you can create vendor master data? 3, right?
3.
One is FK01.
Central.
To use that vendor on finance side, FK01. Another one is MK01. If it is central, FK01. Now have a look on the navigation. Have a look on the navigation. This is none other than an MDG activity, master data governance, or at least your users must be trained to look after this role. Okay, so go to accounting, financial accounting. In that, accounts payable. Okay, in accounts payable, master record, FK01 to create, FK02 for change. There is a sequence of this transaction code. You can check all these. Okay, but to create vendor in finance, okay, if it's exclusively related to finance, you have certain fields. One is your group, another one is company code. Okay, whereas as I told you, the creation of vendor is the responsibility of material management, procurement department responsibility. Now to create finance, this is the navigation. Now for MK01, for material management, open logistics, go to material management, open this, purchasing, open it. There is a field called master data. Okay, then please open vendors. Then if it is MM, open purchasing. If it is central, open central. Okay, now if I open purchasing, can you see that? MK01 to create, to change. Okay, to change a plant period, display, block, plant changes, every transaction code is. These are all end user transaction code. Now to create MK01, can you see that? That means this is only used for purchasing for MM side. Is that clear now? Now, if you are implementing both the modules, FI and MM for the client, and integration is also there, rather than creating only in purchasing, only in finance, please create your vendor at central level so that FI and MM both can utilize that. Central XK0. Is it clear now? That means in XK01, those fields which are present in FK01 as well as MK01 is available at one stop here. That means if you go to FK01, 2 fields. If you go to MK01, 2 fields. Now the most common field is one field, that is account group, right? So almost 3 to 4 points what has been recommended at the time of creation is available in XK01. That means if you create vendor in XK01, all those fields are covered which is required for FK01 and MK01. Is it clear? Any confusion? Let me double click on XK01. See, this is what I was talking about. You got a company code, you got account group here. Okay, So if you go to MK01, only purchase organization will be there and account group will be there. If you go to FK01, company code, account group will be there. That means these three fields are common, available in FK and MK. Now I'm creating a vendor at central level. So purchase organization will be created by guys. Purchase organization creation or configuration is none of our concern. Remember that. You are not responsible to create that. So just give company code, give account group in which you are creating a vendor master data. Okay, look at the hierarchy will be in this way. Did you remember that chart of accounts, account group and ledger? It is also the same. Your company code is RTF. Under this company code, what's your group? RTF. Under this group, I'm creating a vendor. What's that? Okay, this is my vendor, individual vendor. So what's the reference? The first reference is your company code. The second reference is your group. Under this reference, I'm creating these vendors. Okay, this is the vendor. Okay, these are those vendors. Okay, remember this. Who are these? These are nothing but the list of vendors which are, in raw material category. Is it clear? Please maintain these references. This is how we are mapping the requirement into an SAP. Any confusion or anyone?
No, sir, my side is clear.
Okay, fine. I'll get down here. So I'm in XK01 transaction code. Your account group RTRM.
RTR.
Okay, if you are creating service vendor, please call RTSV. If you are creating government vendor, please call RTGV. If it is one-time vendor, OV, whatever 4 characters you have given, you please call that 4-character code group under which you would like to create this vendor. Okay, for me, RTRM, only one. So in this company code, this group, press enter. Now your title will be company. It's a company, right? Not an individual guy. So I'm just taking it as, come down. How you would like to search your vendor? Write on a full name here or a small initial letters of that company to which you can search. What's the street? The house number. Okay, the door number, the postal code. Depends on country to country. 6 digits plus 4 digits or 5 digits. Why? Because some countries used to follow 4, some countries 5, some countries 6. Okay, please check that also. Now city, Bangalore. Now the country, I am India. Can you see that? So at least this information as an address. Why? Because this is required for communication, business communication. Correct? And you can take it as a lettered information also, to send letters, to send invoices, or to communicate for damaged goods, claiming of damaged stocks and all. You can go ahead with this address. Now after this you press enter 4 times. Why I have asked you to press enter 4 times? Because the moment I press first time enter, press enter. Okay, this enter is already there. Okay, this is already existed with some company already. Okay, this idea has already been taken. So what I'll do, let's change the name. Okay, I'll just go with with this number. Okay, I'll be writing it as fine. Some change must be there. Press enter. See, the first enter has given me all these details, tax details, okay, the location, okay, all these details will be provided by, the client. If it is there, please fulfill all those tax informations, which jurisdiction it belongs to, or what's that corporate group. Okay, so that's the reason I'm trying to skip this. Press enter again. This is your second enter, where you can enter your vendor bank account details, which country, which bank key, which that bank account, who is the account holder. All these master data you can maintain for further communication purpose. Then third enter, okay, where you can maintain the list of person or list of contact to which you can communicate in business for day-to-day activities. Okay, now press enter. So that means I have pressed 4 times enter. At the time of fourth enter, you will be called up for reconciliation account selection. Did you remember? Is it possible to skip this field? See, this field is required field, and where you made this required in your first step. At the time where you have created the account group in which you are creating this vendor now. Is it clear? So what's my reconciliation? If you have created reconciliation account based on specialization, then go for F4. And see, you can check only one reconciliation account here. The moment I'm pressing F4, why it is not showing me all ledgers? Instead of all ledgers, it is just showing me sundry creditor. Why? Because of one input what you have selected in control data in a drop down reconciliation account type as vendor. This is also an interview question. See, the more you concentrate on links, the more you concentrate on connections, the more chance for you to survive. That's the subject. Otherwise, a lot of people, what they'll do during the training or after the training, they will by heart all transaction codes. They know all navigation. They know all screens. Is that the meaning of subject? No. First, your business skills, business knowledge. You must be aware of business process procedure, that how business works. First, if you understand the client requirement, then only you can fulfill that requirement in an implementation. You don't know from where this field is getting triggered. Usually what happens, see, what's this account? It's a GL account. No question, no doubt that this is one of the GL accounts. But why not I'm seeing all GL accounts here? Instead of all GL accounts, I'm seeing only one, which is reconciliation account. And this field is for exclusively made for reconciliation accounts only. And at present, we have only one reconciliation account. Got it? Now, if you create sundry creditor account without reconciliation account type, no question of that account is here. Remember that. That's the connection. Please note this point as well. Okay, I'll select reconciliation account type. My sort key, if you want, you can give sort key again 012, that's vendor number. If you want to skip, the sort key will be taken from this sundry creditor where you have already given 012. Got it? Now, for cash management, you are seeing one more field which is active here. That's nothing but cash management group. Do you remember your global structure last point, enter global parameters? You have maintained few checkboxes. What was that? You have maintained few checkboxes like business area wise financial statement, proposed fiscal year, defined default value date, negative postings permitted, and activate CM. That's cash management, right? So that checkbox have given you this field. That means you have to select whether it is a domestic payment or a foreign payment, just to track your cash management. Okay, I'll go to F4 and I'll select A1 or A2. If it is domestic, go for A1. If it is foreign, go for A2. Okay, I'll be selecting A1. This is my domestic vendor. Got it? Now press enter. Now your payment terms. This is nothing but your credit terms. I'll go to F4 and I'll show you few payment terms. See, 13 days credit limit, 30 days credit limit, 45 days, no discount. If it is under 14 days, 3% discount. If it is 30 days, 2% discount. Okay, if it is 45 days, fully occupied credit limit, who will give you discount? Okay, or else no discounts, no credits, immediately due date. That means the moment it supplies goods, the moment you have to release the payment. That's it. Okay, so at present what we'll do, we'll go for 0001. Then in future, when discussing about all these advanced concepts, then we'll try to utilize this with installments as well. See, sometimes the requirement is to how you are going to pay one invoice in installments. In installments also, no, there is a condition in a business that first out of 100%, 30%, 30%, then 40%. That means first 20%, then 40%, then 40%. It depends. So if it is an installment, then how you are going to take care? The payment terms is a different activity. Let's complete this training in general mode, then we'll try to concentrate on that area as well. So at present, I'm concentrating only on payment due date. First, you try to be aware of the general concept, then only you can work on advances. You are not yet completed your schooling and you are thinking about PhD. It's the worst decision, right? So, this is how people, when they get trained with the help of documents, is not successful in, survival. So go from the basics. Don't try to experiment about all these files. Idi enduku, adi enduku, idi enduku. Mari meer enduku consulting lo, right? Then who you are in consulting and why, what you are doing in consulting. Okay, so please complete these basics, then go for experiments in upgrade while working with a client. Okay, now payment terms. Now don't forget to check this box. Check double invoice. Now the moment you check this double invoice, system will keep an eye on duplicate invoices. That's what I explained in my introduction. Don't you think there is a chances for duplicate entries? Yes, it is. If there is no integration, maybe the possibility is that double time invoices have been entered. So not only this button gives you a warning about your duplicate entries if the amount is repeated with the same vendor, so system will give you a warning. Not only here, when you go for document number ranges, let me slightly go to another screen to show you the impact of same control for duplication invoice in number range. You know this transaction code OBA7. I'll go into that document. I will call my KR. What's KR? My vendor invoice, right? I'll double click on this KR. So the moment you double click on KR, see, required during document entry. That means if you check this reference number, what reference field is used for? Maybe this invoice is prepared with reference to purchase order number. So if you use that reference number like purchase order, 1100. Purchase order number is 1100. Now you have generated that invoice by using this reference field. Now when you are trying to use the same reference number, now system will not allow you, system will give you a warning, right? Boss, is it a duplicate entry what you are trying to record? Have you got it? So one side you can check this duplicate invoice. That means the maximum chances that this vendor has sent invoices in an email, as well as he has sent some invoices printouts through a courier. Then as an accountant, he is responsible to punch 300, 400 invoices per day. So maybe the chances, if he is dealing with 50,000 vendors, which invoice, which vendors, So to avoid those mistakes, please check this double invoice box, as well as in your document type KR, make sure that reference field is set as required entry. Now I'm not making it in live environment. If they want, please go ahead. If they don't want, leave this. It's their choice. Is it clear now? So check double invoice. So if you press enter, then further features are there which is not required now. That's the reason what I'm trying to do. I have used those fields which is required me now. Like in future while working on automatic payment program, I told you, right, multiple payment methods are there. You can pay manual payment, only entry for payment. If it is payment with printout, F-58. If it is automatic payment program, that means mass payments to the mass vendors, then you can use these fields. Okay, if you want to block, if you want to use house bank, that's nothing, a special bank to release the payments, all these fields are for that. Okay, now just give payment terms, check double invoice checkbox, then click on save. What's that vendor ID, which is my first vendor? Who is my first vendor? Can you see that? The number which was picked up by system is the first number of my range which I have created for RK. Yes,
Yes, sir.
everybody. It's clear, right? Lejo, you are here. Is it clear or any confusion? Okay. Now if you only want to display your vendors, see, you have to switch to XK01 to XK02, XK03, display, change, all these are having transaction code. Okay, let's see that display. We are trying to display this vendor. Okay, call your vendor ID. Okay, give your company code, press enter. Okay, or else select these boxes. These are all those fields which is for 3 segments: general data, okay, then accounting information, okay, then payment transaction, here also payment transaction. Now press enter, you can see all those fields. Okay, first screen, then enter, see your reconciliation information, then enter. and you can see your payment terms and checkable invoices. Okay, this is how you can display. Okay, you can go back. If it is required for change, use transaction code XK02. Okay, if you want to block, use XK05. If you just want a flag for deletion, not to use this vendor for further postings, then use transaction code XK06 and flag for deletion. Okay, better rather than raising a flag, go for a block if you don't want to continue the relationship with this vendor. Okay, so this is how you can use this. Any questions on creation of vendor? Is any confusion till now?
This is how we maintain vendor master, sir.
Exactly.
So number of vendors
This is
we
the
create means
vendor
that is
master.
the maintenance of vendor management, sir.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is how you can maintain your vendor master data.
Okay, sir.
Is anybody else? Any confusion? Okay. The next point is to create number ranges for those document types. As I have asked this question earlier, like how many documents we have used, document types we have used in general ledger, you said SA and A. But as far as those
Only
document
2 years.
types which are regularly used for accounts payable is KR, KZ, KA. Okay. So for those documents, we have some indicators. Based on that indicators, we have to create the number range. So my next target is to create the number range. So to create number range, go to transaction code /NOBS7. If you want to see the navigation, please check this navigation in global structure. I have already declared the navigation. So now to save time, you just go to transaction code ODS7, enter. Okay, I think here already it is open on another side. Okay, it's already open. That's the reason it is saying as locked. Okay. Go to OBS7 transaction code. You can see the list of document types. Click on position. Give document type KR. This is your first document type. Press enter. Now double click on KR. What's an indicator? I already informed in yesterday's script, right? System defined number range indicator for document type KR is 19. Okay, now click on number range information. See, now you are in AOBA7 to confirm the indicator. If you are already known with the indicator, just click on number range information. You are in FBN1. So I already informed you. If you are aware of indicator, go directly to FBN1 to create number ranges. If you are not aware of indicators which is set in your system, then please go to OBS7, double click on document type, confirm the indicators, then click on number range button, then you will be here. Okay, so give company code RETL, then click on change intervals. Now see, we have created 3 and we have used 3. Now click on insert. What's an indicator? 19 for 2021. What's the next free number for me?
3001.
3001.
Yes, 3001 to 4000. Okay, if it is 10 lakhs, if it is 1 million or 2 million, please go ahead as per the requirement. Okay, simply click on save, press enter. That's it. So for KR we have created. Now go back. Go back. Why I'm taking you back? Because you are not aware of those indicators, right? Now double click on KZ. If you are not able to see KZ, please use position button. Position is nothing but find. Okay, control F like that. But don't use that shortcut key control F. Control F will not work here. If it is working also, but saw some other content, use position button always. For position shortcut, you can use shift plus F7. Okay. Now double click on KZ. What's the indicator? 15. Click on number range information. Give company code RETL. Click on change intervals. Click on insert. Now it's 15, 2021. Now the next is 4001 to 5000. Okay, press enter. Save. System gives message, press enter. Okay. Now go back. Go back. Back. Scroll up. You can check KA is on top. Huh? Here is the KA. Double click on KA. As indicated, 17. Click on number and information. The company code REGL. Click on change information. Click on insert. What's that? 17. For this financial year, 5,001 to 6,000.
6,000.
Okay, just hit on save button. You'll be getting a message and just press enter. That's it. Okay.
Sir,
So the configuration part.
NR23. NR23. What is that, sir?
Yes, anybody who
Yes,
can
that
answer
was
this
it.
question?
Sir, it is already posted documents. 23 documents is posted.
I've already explained this. That means out of 1,000 documents, you have posted 23 documents.
23 documents.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Reversals में नहीं देखा है क्या?
हाँ.
This shows the level of practice. धक्का मारना पड़ रहा है गाड़ी को. I can understand that it's raining outside and your engine is off. थोड़ा practice में perfect रहना चाहिए. Okay. This shows the level of practice. Please concentrate. Because every time it's not possible to put my head into each and every single point. It's already there in record. You can go through it. So this shows the status. Okay, here also a lot of technical questions are there which I'm not asking right now. Why? Because this may simply confuse your mind. Okay, I don't want to do that. First complete that, then we'll see some other day. Okay, how to disturb this date also. I don't want to show that experiment now. Why? Because you are still in learning stage. Okay. You just get trained,
Okay.
you work out, then slowly you can keep your hands on technical issues also. But in simple words, NR status is nothing but number and status. That means the number of documents which you have used from this range. See, you have gone for 15, 17, 19. Is there any single invoice, single payment is done? Single clearance is done? No. That's the reason it is showing you 0. See, for X1, recurring document is posted. For X2, sample document is also posted. That's the reason that is showing that one document you have picked up for recurring and another document you have used for sample. Is it clear? This is just
Okay.
to show the status of numbers which is occupied from this range. Obviously, when you are trying to post another entry in F-02, it will show you 24. Simple.
Okay, sir.
Yes, any questions? Anybody else? Any queries? So this part is done. The first half part is done. We have successfully implemented these points. What you are seeing right now. This is done. We have successfully captured all these configurations which I have just kept in a box. Okay, tomorrow we'll go ahead to implement this end user activity. I'll show you how to look after this. That's a pure activity to work on end users. Complex posting, enjoy posting, and the clearing of payment and all.
Purchase order.
Any questions so far? Purchase order हम क्यों बनाएंगे भाई? Is that purchase order is your role? It's an MM activity.
guys role.
No, sir.
Why should I have to create purchase order, sales order? If you are creating purchase order, you are related to MM and SD. देखो अभी मल्टी पर्सनालिटी डिसऑर्डर नहीं बनने का है. You just concentrate on FI.
Okay, sir.
Got it? वो भी करना चाहे तो कर सकते हैं.
Yes, sir.
That is also a functional module, but that's your choice. First, try to digest this FI concept. Then let's see whether you are in a position to digest again MM and SD or not. Yes, any queries from anybody? If it is cleared, then I'll close this call. Okay,
Clear, sir.
I'll take a clear sign. Okay. See you tomorrow at the same time. That's all for today. Bye for now.